Now, here's the concept. $10,000 a month getting there, the road is very predictable in this industry. I've watched people travel this road, literally tens of thousands of people over and over and over the past 25 years. And people get started in the industry, and a lot of times they have what I call a beginning spurt. And this usually lasts about 90 days. Most people, their ignorance on fire, they don't have a clue what they're doing, but they don't know what they're doing. And then they have a fall, and this is called the slump. And again, it's pretty predictable. Many of you watching me have already gone through this personally yourself. You've seen team members, every team member that's ever started off within your organization. You've watched this happen over and over and over. Beginning spurt followed by a slump. Okay, then if they get out of the slump, which most people don't, this is when most people quit right here, is when their first 90 days, because they get to a point where they realize they don't have a clue what they're doing. Uncle Harry joined but didn't do a thing. Aunt Martha got upset. Her stomach got upset when she tried the product, or whatever. Whatever. And then somebody will come in and say, well, that's because you were doing it this way. And a guru comes in and says, this is the way to do it. And join me with my company and my system, and we're going to help you become successful. And then at some point over time, people realize the name of the game is sorting through people. We're all looking for the right people at the right time in their life. Recruiting is numbers, period. I know people that will tell you that recruiting is based upon relationships. That's not true. They're telling you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear. Recruiting is numbers. Team building is based upon relationships. But anyway, so what happens is sometimes people get back up out of their slump, and you can check out a website called MLMretention.com that, if you're a leader, will really help you when your people get to this point, MLMretention.com. So then we get them back up, and the road at that point is kind of up and down and up, but you're making progress all along. And the neat thing about it is there's never a slump as bad as your first one. Yes, you're going to have some down points, but never as bad as your first one. And then out here, there's a place called the plateau, and a lot of people get to the plateau, and that usually happens between $3,000 and $5,000 in monthly income. And there's one final run to $10,000 a month. Now, this is the road that the majority of people that enter this industry are going to go down. This is a very simplified version. I can talk about hurdles here. There's hurdles all along the way, and how to jump hurdles and continue to run, but I don't have time on this training to really get into that, and that's not really my point. My point is simply here. It's simply this. There's some very fortunate, very lucky people that maybe early on in the beginning, maybe even as early as in their first 90 days, create a $10,000 income. Now, when I talk about $10,000, when I talk about it, I'm talking about ongoing, solid, residual income based upon developing an organization of leaders that want it bad, worse than you do, and it's going to be here. I'm not talking about a big flash in the pan, but here's what I'll tell you about people that make big income quick. There's one of two things that's happened. Number one, they're involved in a high-dollar program where it costs a lot of money to get started. $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. That's number one. Or number two, they were already successful in another program, and they brought their team with them. Bottom line, if somebody's making $10,000 plus in their first 90 days, they either brought a team or they're involved in a big dollar program. That's the real story behind those stories. Now, some people, after they slump, they get back up. There's many points along the way where their income can hit $10,000, for a month. And I'm just using that. It could even be right here. But there's different points along this road where people get to $10,000. And if I get to $10,000, this is what happens. This is my main point that I want to share with you. people get to $10,000 at this point, whatever they're doing at that point in time to prospect becomes the way. Okay, whether it's calling leads, whether it's never call a lead, whether it's funded proposals, whatever it is, when they get to this point, it becomes in their mind, sincerely in their mind, the way. And what they don't realize, it's all this experience here that really enabled them to get there. It's the experience and the frustrations and the lack of success many times here that enables them to get here. And the mistake that they make is they try to bring people in and start them here. And I understand this, and I understand why they do it, and they try to teach everything that they know right here, and they don't understand that this experience, this is totally irreplaceable. It's just part of it. It's like they want to start you as a junior in college and skip the freshman and sophomore classes. Now, that's the best explanation I can give you at this point with the time that I have. But what I'm trying to communicate is, yes, there's a lot of sincere people out there that believe what they're saying. This is why. This is why they truly do believe what they're saying. But you have to understand, there's a lot of people trying to teach you that which they've never done, and there's a whole lot of people, 99% have a hidden agenda, which is to ultimately bring you in your program. That's why there's so much conflicting information out there. I'm just telling you to learn whatever you can from whoever you can. Stay focused. This is an awesome, awesome industry with a lot of good people that can lead, guide, and direct you along the way. Don't give up. Go check us out at www.mlmhelp.com. And remember the discount code ROAD when you go to www.road.tipforsuccess.com. My name's Dale Calvert, and I hope to see you on another video in the very near future.